have a question for you. Is there anything more important to you than the life of an animal? More about that right after the intro. Wow. Welcome to the Day One Journey, where I share with you my journey towards understanding who I am, knowing myself so I can be myself, so I can be true to myself. Episode 571. Cheating, yeah. So what about you? Is there anything more important to you than the life of an animal? Let's say cockroaches, ants, spiders. Is there anything more important to you than the life of an ant? Well, if you remember in the last episode, I shared with you that I killed ants and spiders in my room on the Vipassana retreat. And by doing that, I was breaking one rule of the Vipassana retreat. We weren't allowed to kill any other being, animal, or of course human being. And I broke this rule. And as I shared with you in the last episode, I broke this rule because I value certain things more than the life of, certain animals. And in this episode, I want to share a little bit more about my thoughts about that, even though this is not the place to share all of my thoughts about that, but I do want to give you a snippet. And I also want to be super honest with you. So for me, going back to the first question I asked you in this episode, is there anything that is important to me in my life than the life of an animal, or specifically the life of an ant? Well, yes, and I'll be again super honest with you. There are lots of things that are more important to me than the life of an ant. For example, my life, my family's life, my health, their health, my mom's health, my father's health. There's a lot of things, but today I want to speak about just two of them: health and comfort. For example, I killed the ants in my room in the Vipassana retreat. They were crawling near my bed, and I decided to kill them. Why? Not for health reasons, for comfort. I didn't want the ants to crawl on me when I was sleeping, So I did that for comfort. I value my comfort more than I value the ants' life. And I'm not shying away from it. I'm self-aware about that. And I think sometimes we're not self-aware about our priorities. For example, think about it. Every one of us, most of us, if we are lucky enough and we have the money and financial means and everything, most of us live in a home. And when you think about the construction, and when you think about when they built this home, they dug deep into earth to put all the foundations. And guess what? In this process, they probably killed a lot of insects, cockroaches, spiders, ants, and I'm aware of that. For example, right now, I stand in front of you, in my house, in my home. I'm super comfortable. I like the space. I like it. I have aircon here. I have lighting here. I love my home here in Bangkok. I'm speaking to you right now from the comfort of my home. And I'm aware that I am responsible for the killing of all the animals, the insects, the cockroaches, the spiders, the ants that were killed for my comfort, so I can live in this lovely apartment. I just acknowledge that. The same thing goes for me eating meat, yeah? Well, there's a debate about health. Yeah, I think it's also more healthy, but I think many people won't agree with me, but we're not starting this debate. But it's also for comfort, yeah? And it's also for comfort, but most importantly, I am responsible for the death of the chicken that I will eat in 2 hours because I eat it. It's the same thing with the home. I'm speaking to you from the comfort of my home because these animals were killed. And I'm okay with that. I take responsibility for that. I'm self-aware of that. The same way I'm self-aware of the food. I eat the chicken. I'm responsible for their death. I take the responsibility. I'm aware that some things, my health and sometimes also my comfort, are more important than the life of the animals. You might not agree with me, etc. And I'm not going to share all my thoughts about that in this series because this is the Vipassana series and this is a pretty big thing to talk about, especially for me. But back to you. Give yourself a few minutes today and just be a little bit more aware of the things that you use, the things that you use today, the things that you do today, the things that you eat today that came from animals, that in some way or another was related to killing animals. Just raise this level of self-awareness. This level of awareness, not necessarily self-awareness, and do it today. And of course, have an amazing day one. See you tomorrow.